Right. If you can't hear me, if you can't see the screen, just let me know so that we can be on the same page. Okay. But I'll just wait for a minute so that others can join. We are done with our introduction, so we need to start with calculations and everything else. Right, so just for recap, right, who still remembers what we discussed? Right, I'll share the screen. Okay, so as of today, we are going to deal with number 1 and number 2. This is the area where we are, and it's chapter 3. Right, just for a recap, what have we discussed on the last lesson? Anyone who still remembers? Right, we did bar graph, which is quite simple. We did pie chart. We did what we call an ogive, right? Then we talked about all this has to do with a single categorical data. We also talked about types of data, nominal, the lot, talked about ordinal, talked about ratio. We discussed about all this. Then we also discussed about quantitative and qualitative data, right? And we also discussed about methods of collection of data. Right, in our data there is primary data, and we also have what? Secondary data. We all discussed about this. For methods of collection, they can be interviews, surveys, questionnaires, all those kind of things. Right, that's what we basically discussed about. And the ogive has to do with frequency, which is cumulative. And this is very important because we are going to deal with it now. Right, so this is just a recap of what was covered last week. Right, and in most of your exams, question 1 normally starts from these formulas. Right, the measure of central position and the measure of dispersion. Right, I'll just start from the known. Right, from the known, let's say we have these numbers. Right, I can ask you to calculate what you call a mean. Right, mean is simply the average, isn't it? So it's given by the total of your x's, isn't it? So it's summation of x. Summation means total over the number of items, which is n. In other words, it's 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 4 plus 8 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 10 plus 3 plus 4 plus 8 plus 8 divided by the total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 divided by 15. Then you get your mean. I think that one is simple. So what do we get here? Eight plus. Right, I'm getting 90 divided by 15. Then your mean will be equals to 6. That's how you calculate the mean. This is measure of central location. So we start with the mean. This is what you know, right? What about if I ask about the mode? What is the mode? How do you find the mode? How do you find the mode? Right, how do you find the mod? This is what you know, guys. Boy Tumelo, how do you find the mod in that case? Right, anyone?
Isn't it the number that appears the most?
Yes, the one that appears the most. In this case, the one that appears the most, it's 8, 8, 8, and 8. So the mod is 8. Right, what about the median? What about the median? The median. How do you get the median
Sir,
in this case? Yes.
it's the largest number minus the smallest number in the...
No, you're talking
Sir,
about the
isn't the
range.
median?
Oh,
Sir,
oh, sorry.
sir, isn't the median like rearranging the numbers and finding the middle number?
Yes, we rearrange the numbers. So our numbers, the smallest is 1, 2, then we have 3, then we have 4, we have another 4, then we have 6, then we have 7, then we have 8, 8, 8, 8, then we have 9, then we have 10. How many items do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Why did I say 15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I forget another number? 1, 2, 3. How many fours? 3. Okay, I forgot another 4. Then which other number as well? 4. Then we have 6. 1, 6. Then 7. We have 1. Then 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 80s. Right. Then it's enough. Then we have 15. So I know you'd cancel these numbers, you cancel this until you get to the middle number. I know that's what you used to do, right? Until you get to the middle number, right? So which one is the middle number? In other words, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then this one is the middle number. If you have an odd number, it's 15 plus 1 divided by 2. So position number 8. So position number 8 is your median. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Position number 8 is your median. If you have an even number, for example, let's say our position was position, I'm just going to add something. If I have to add another number, 10. Then our n is now 16. Then 16 divided by 2, it gives you what? 8. So you count your position. Position number 8 and position number 8, in this case, it will be, okay, let me do a different question so that we don't mix up with this. Let's say we have 1, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's find the median. We can rearrange. We have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So how many items do we have? Our n is 6. So the position of the median is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So let's count 1, 2, 3. We have this position. Then you go this side, 1, 2, 3. We have this position. So our median is 2 plus 3 divided by 2. Then what do you get? 2, 5. In case you have an even number. If you have an odd number, you simply add 1, then you divide by 2. Basic. This is the basic that you know. Right. So I'll go back to my formulas. I can see I'm going to label them so that you know what is this. This is the mean of ungrouped data, and this is the mean of grouped data. So I'll start with what you don't know, the grouped data. And this is the mode for grouped data. And this is also the median for the grouped data. Make sure you know these formulas. We are going to use them. Right. So I'm going to give a very simple example. Then I'll show you how we do the calculation. Right. I'll start with a very simplified example so that we can calculate the mean, the mode, and the median. Right. Let's say I'll group it for you. Right. Let's say we have these intervals 0 to 10, then 10 to 20, then 20 to 30, 30 to 40. I'm making it small so that it will be easy to understand. Right. You are going to have something like this. Right. This is grouped data. It's grouped. Why is it grouped? This is the interval. Right. We are saying things that fall between 0 and less than 10. Right. Then I'm going to write my frequency. Let's say there are 2, there are 4, there are 8, and there are 3. Just an example. Right. This is your frequency. Then after your frequency, you need to calculate what we call x. Right. X is the midpoint. X, let me show you. X is equals to the midpoint of the values. So what is the midpoint between 0 and 10? So you simply say 0 plus 10 divided by 2. You get what? 5. Then you write your 5 here. Then you say 10 plus 20 divided by 2. Then you get 15. This is your midpoint. And your midpoint here is 25. And your midpoint here is 35. This becomes your new x. Any questions on that? On calculating the x? X is the midpoint. You simply say the lower value plus the upper value. We are saying the numbers that fall between 0 and 10, they are 2. And the number that falls between 10 and 20, they are 4. Let's say these are marks. People who score between 0 and 10, they are 2. People who score between 10 and 20, they are 4. Between 20 and 30, they are 8. And between 30 and 40, they are 3. That's the frequency. Right. So we find the middle number between the lower and the upper. So 0 plus 10 divided by 2, you get 5. 10 plus 20, 30 divided by 2, 15. So you get your middle number. Then you calculate your cumulative frequency. Right. Calculate your cumulative frequency. I want to start something very simple. Right. Right. Your cumulative frequency, I think you know it. How do you calculate it? 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 8. You get 14. Then 14 plus 3, you get 17. Right. That's what we have here. Right. Okay. I'll stand here for now. Then I'm going to say calculate what? The mean, the mode, and the median. Right. Then you don't have to memorize the formulas. You will be given. So I'm just, for the sake for you to familiarize with them, I'll just copy them. Then I'll paste them here. Right. Right, so that we can be on the same page. Right. There we are. So what do we need to calculate? We need to calculate what? The mean. Let's start with the mean. Which one is the mean? This is grouped data. So you use this formula. This is your mean. Right. So how do you calculate your mean? Right. So your mean, write your formula, is equals to summation, which means the total of frequency times x over what? Over n. You can see your mean. So for you to be able to make your life easy, this is what you're going to do on your table so that you don't have to struggle. You extend your table, right? We need summation of fx, right? So you say frequency times x. Frequency times x. Small letter f, I'm using small letter f because the formula requires, let me put it here, the formula so that you can see it. You see, small letter f times our x. So what is f? 2 times 5, what do we get? 10. 4 times 15, which is 60. Then 8 times 25, you get 200. Then 3 times 35, you get 105. Then summation means total. So your summation block, just put it at the bottom here, your summation block. So you find your total, which is 10 plus 60 plus 200 plus 105. You get 375. That's your summation. And your N is the total number of items, which is how many items are there in total. And I think you can see it's 35. Sorry, it's 17. 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 3. We have 17 items. That's your N, the total, the frequency, the total one, it's 17. Right. Then after that, let's find out the solution. Now the solution is quite simple. Right? We have summation of fx. We have it. It's 375 over total number of items. It's 17. That's your mean. That's how you now calculate your mean. You get 22.06 if we round up. That's how you calculate your mean. Right. Any questions on the mean calculations? Right. For grouped data, this is grouped data we are dealing with. Right. So you can see that when you deal with a grouped data, you are going to get your interval and your frequency. Then the rest you have to find. X is the midpoint. 10 plus 0 divided by 2, you get 5. Then F, the capital letter, that's your cumulative frequency. Then you find Fx, right? Which is your frequency times the midpoint X, which gives you 10. Then you find the totals at the bottom. Then summation of Fx, the total for Fx over N. Then you get your mean. That's how you calculate your mean. Right. I'm not going to erase that. I will leave it there. Then let's go to the modes. Right. How do you calculate your mode? The formula is there. This is the mode. Right. I'm not going to rewrite the formula there. Okay, let me just make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it. Right. We are dealing with the mode now, and this is your mode. MO stands for the mode. So I'm not going to rewrite the formula. Okay, let me just rewrite it. MO is given by the lower limit of the mode. That's the meaning of that. Plus C stands for class interval, brackets, frequency of the mode, minus the previous frequency. That's the meaning of -1. O over 2 frequency of the mode minus the previous frequency minus the next frequency of the mode. Right, it's very simple. Let's see. The mode is the one that appears the most. So from this, which interval appears the most? Which interval appears the most? We'll do more questions until you get it. Which interval appears the most? That's the first thing you have to find out. Right? Which interval appears the most? Right? Which interval appears the most? Tando. Tando Moyo, which interval appears the most? It's very simple. You can see it here. The one with the highest frequency, that's the mode. The frequency that appears the most, it falls on which interval? That's my question. Providence. Providence? Or no one knows? Right, okay. When we talk about the mode, we look for the frequency that is high. So if you check the frequency that is high is this one, it's 8. Right. So you pick your frequency that appears the most. Right. So we need to find where is the mode. Remember, from 20 to 30, there are so many numbers. Right. There's 21, 22, 23, 24 until 30. So our mode appears within this number. So that's the number that we need to find out. So you first find the position. Right. Okay. Let me just erase the mean. Right. You find the position first. Right. Interval. Right. So you see the highest frequency is 8 and it falls in the interval 20 to 30. So in 20 to 30, I'm going to write the answers here so that it will be easy for you to substitute. Right. Right. From 20 to 30, the lower limit, the lower O, M, O, it means the lower. 20 and 30, the lower is 20. Right? We are done with the first one. The class width, C, from 20 minus 30, what do you get? It's 10. That's the class width. 20 minus 30 is 10. That's your class width. The frequency of the mode, it's 8. That's the frequency. Then the previous frequency, M minus 1, we are talking about the previous, it's 4. Then the next frequency, F, M plus 1, it means the next frequency, it's 3. Right. Then once you have all this data, you substitute. OMO, the lower limit is 20 plus C, the class width, which is 10. The frequency of the modes is 8 minus the previous frequency, which was 4, over 2 times the frequency of the mode, it's 8, minus the frequency of the previous frequency, which is 4, minus the next frequency, which is 3. Then your mode is going to be 20 plus 10 times, just make sure your calculations are perfect. 40 over, then the bottom part, 2 times 8 minus 4 minus 3 over 9. Then which is 20 plus 40 divided by 9, which is 44.44. So the answer is 24.44. Then you can see 24.44 is true. It lies within 20 and 30. Then this is your mode. That's how you calculate your mode. You first look for the frequency that appears the most. That's it. Then you look for that interval. Then everything else is history. Right, any questions on mode, or we are stuck? We need to meditate. Right, okay, silent means we are meditating. We'll do another question on that. Let's go to the median. Then after the median, we do another example. Then you'll be helping me. The formulas will be there. Right, let's look at the median now. Right, I'll erase this part. This was the mode. Then the median is the middle number. Right. This is the formula, the median. Right. The median, right, that is now what? The middle position. Right. This one is a bit tricky. I want you to get it. Right. This is the formula for the median. How many items do we have? 17. So you look for the position first. 17 divided by 2. What do you get? you get 8,5. Where does 8,5 lie in the frequency? Right. First, you can look here. We have two items, right? On the first interval, we have not yet reached 8.5. Then we have plus 4. Now we have 6 items. We haven't reached what? 8. Now, okay, from interval, I'll just write it here so that it will be easier to get it. 0 to 10. We have 2. Then 10 to 20. We have 4. Then 20 to 30. We have 8. So in this case, until here we only have 2, then plus 4. Here we are now at 6. We haven't reached 8.5. But now from this point, if we say plus 8, right? If we say plus 8, now we are at point number 14. So you can see that from 6, I'll write it here, from this position, let me use a different color. 2 plus 4, it's 6. Then from 6, we reached 7. 7 started from point number 20 to 30. 7, 8, 9. So 8,5 lies here in this interval, 20 to 30. That's where your median is. Did you get that? That's what you need to get there. Just repeat. We saw that our median is 8.5. We only have 2 items in the first interval. We don't have 8. And in the second interval, we have now 2 plus 4. We have 6 items. We haven't reached position 8. But when you reach interval 20 to 30, now you have 6 plus 8, which is 14 items. So the 8 lies from this total, from 6, right? You can see it. From 6 to 14, that's where the interval lies. That's where 8.5 lies. So our 8.5 lies in this interval, right? Once you find the position, then you can find the interval. So our interval is still 20 less than 30, right? Then let me write the formula. ME is equals to lower limit of the interval that you have chosen plus the class width, bracket, number of items over 2 minus the previous cumulative, now capital letter, frequency, all over the frequency of the median. So let me find out what is all that. We have find our interval. So OME, the lower limit of the interval, is 20. C, the class width, 20 minus 30 is 10. Our N, number of items, it's 17. The frequency, the previous cumulative frequency, if we are at this position, this is the cumulative frequency. So what is the previous one? The less than means the previous one, it's 6. What about the frequency of the median? It's 8. The frequency of the median. Then you come here, you substitute. Your lower limit is 20 plus your class width 10, brackets 10 divided by 2, sorry, 17 divided by 2 minus the previous cumulative frequency, which is 6, all over the frequency of the median, which is 8. Let's solve. 17 divided by 2 minus 6 times 10 divided by 8. I'm getting 20 plus 3.125, which is 23.125. Done. That's how
Sir,
you
can I
calculate.
ask,
Yes.
do we round it off or we just write it like that?
The question will specify.
Okay.
They will tell you whether to 2 decimal place, 1 decimal place, or whichever way they will tell you. The question will specify.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. Now I have done the mean, the mode, and the median. Now it's your turn. Right. Let me look for a question so that we can do this question together. right? Where is it? Right, we want to find the mean, the mode, and the median. I want to use symbol numbers. I don't want, right, these are going to be big numbers. Right, these ones are big numbers, okay. Let me just look for smaller numbers, just for us to, right, okay, this one is fine. Let me just take this. Right. Right, we need to do this question. Right. Right, I hope you can see it. Right, so what I want us to do for now is the mean, the mode, and the median. Right. Okay, let's start. What's the first thing? What's the first thing? Right, let's participate, please. What's the first thing that we have to do here?
Add the number of weights.
Right, okay. I'm just going to extend this table so that it's much easier. Just extend, then I'll complete it here. Right. So the first thing that we have, this is the frequency. This is your frequency, right? Then you can find what? Your X. What is your X in the first line? First find your X. What is your X here? I said X is what? Are we here or we are not here? Sarah, what is X? Anyone?
It is the midpoint.
So what's the midpoint here? 47 plus 48. So 47 plus 49 divided by 2. What do you get? 48. You don't need to think.
48.
Then 49 plus 51 divided by 2. What do you get? 50. There's nothing difficult. Then 51 plus 53 divided by 2. You get 52. 53 plus 55 divided by 2. Sorry, it's 52 here. 52, then you get 54, then you get 56. You are done with your X. What else do we need? We need the frequency, cumulative frequency. Right, let's answer the cumulative frequency. Right, our cumulative frequency. Joanna?
Isn't it 6?
You have 6,
Plus
then? 6
plus
plus?
48?
No. Cumulative frequency, we add our frequencies, isn't it? 6 plus 31, isn't it?
Oh, 31, yes. 37.
We get 37. Then 37 plus 29. We get 66. Then 66 plus 19. What do you get? 85. Then 85 plus 15. What do you get? 100. If you add also this, you must get 100 if you add your frequencies. Then the next thing is to find your fx. Frequency times x, which is 6. Okay, we should try. What is fx? Right, Antri. Okay. Right, what is fx? John? It's f, your frequency, times x. 6 times 48. You get 288. Then you have 31 times 50. You get 1550. Then you have 29 times 52. You have 1508. Then you have 19 times 54. You have 1026. Then you have 15 times 56. You have 840. Then you find the total, 288 plus 1550 plus 1508 plus 1026 plus 840. Then you get 5212. Right, so let's start with our mean. So your mean, by now you should know the formula, is given by summation of fx over n. What is your summation of fx? We have calculated it already. What is summation of f? How much?
5,212.
5212. And what is our n?
100.
100. That's correct. The total sum of your frequency, that's your n. Divide by 100. Then what do you get? 52.12. That's your mean. Easy marks. Done with the mean. Right?
Yes.
Right, let's go to the mode. Right? Okay. Let's go to the mode. What's the formula? Okay, I'll put it for you. So you are not yet used to it. I'm just cropping the mode only. Right? So your mode is given by this formula. Right? That's your mode. So what is the first step that you have to do when you look for the mode? You look for the highest frequency. That's the first step. What is the highest frequency in our case? Please, let's participate. What is the highest frequency?
100.
No, this is the total.
31.
It's 31, correct. You can see the highest frequency is 31. So at 31, what is the interval? At 31.
49 to 51.
51.
Then it's 49 to, I'll just simplify it to 51. So what is the lower limit between 49 and 51? The lower limit. Which number is lower between 41 and 51? That's what I'm asking.
49.
It's 49. That's your lower limit. That's your OMO. It's 49. That's the meaning of the lower limit. And what is your class width there? Right? What's your class width? What's your class width? 49.
Is it 50?
Minus 50. No, the width. 49. 51 minus 49. The difference between these two numbers. That's the class width. It's 2.
Oh.
Class width. 51 minus 49, which gives you 2. That's your class width, right? Okay, what about the frequency of the mode? What is it? You find it already. It's 31. Then what is the previous frequency minus 1? The previous frequency is what?
6 minus 1, 5.
6. Right. No, you don't need to subtract 1. The minus 1 is telling you that just look at the previous frequency. Don't subtract 1. Then what about the next frequency? It's what?
29.
It's 29. That's it. Then you substitute into your formula. So your mod is given by 49 plus the class width 2 brackets frequency of the mod 31 minus the previous frequency 6. I didn't say minus 1. Minus 1 is just showing you that look at the previous frequency. Brackets O over 2 multiplied by the frequency 31 minus the previous frequency. Where's the previous frequency? 6 minus 29. So it's 49 plus, make sure you learn how to use your calculator, right? It gives on top, it's 50 over 2 times 31 minus 6 minus 29. It gives you 27, right? So 50 divided by 27, 1.8 plus 49, right? Then you get 50.85. Right. Do you see 50.85 falls within your interval 41 to 51? If your answer falls outside the interval, it means it is wrong. Right. That's how you do this. Right. Let's go to the median. Let's go to the median. This is the mod. Now we need to go to the median. Then the next question, you are going to do it on your own, and I'll give you about 5 minutes to complete it. Right. Okay. Let's go to the median. Right. So I'll just show you the formula for the median. Just show it alone. Right, so I need to remove this one. Right, now we need to deal with the median. Right, okay. We've done the mod. Right, so now we are at the median. Right, so what is the first step when you look for the median? Is to find your middle position. Right, what is the middle position in this case? How many items do we have? We saw that we have 100, so 100 divided by 2, what do you get? 50th position. That's what we want to look at. On which interval does the position number 50 lies? Find out quickly. 50 lies in which interval? You don't need 2 minutes to find it or 3 seconds. You can just look and tell me.
It's 49, 49 and 51.
It lies between
49
and 51.
51.
No. Position 50. Position 50. We look at the frequencies, not X. Position. It lies in which interval? Position number 50. Do you get it on how to count to get a position? Or should I go back to layman terms?
It lies on 51 to 53.
That's correct. How did you get that?
The frequency.
The frequency. That's correct. Right. Okay. In this point, we have 6, right? Then plus 31. We are at 37. We haven't even reached 50. But if we say plus 29, now we are at 66. So do you see that it lies within this interval from 37 until 66 is from 51 to 53. So you just need to find where position number 50 lies. and it lies in with this interval, then you are done. Just need to find where it lies in this interval, right? Oh, sorry. Just have to practice more, right? Okay, we find it. So what is the lower limit of our interval? You don't need to think on this one. 51 to 53. The lower limit is 51, right? I'm just writing now. The lower limit of our interval, the lower number is 51, right? Your class width, 53 minus 51 is 2. A number of items, we have 100. Then the previous cumulative frequency, we are at 50, 51 to 53. This is the cumulative frequency. So what is the previous one? Is 37, right? And what is the frequency of the median? The frequency of the median is 29. Once you can identify that, you are done. So your median is equals to the lower limit, 51 plus 2 brackets 100 over 2 minus the previous cumulative frequency, 37, over the frequency of the median, 29. All right, so 50 minus 37 times 2 divided by 29. Right, so it will be 51 plus 0.9 if we round up. We get 51.9. Right, and you can see it lies within the interval. That's how you find your median. Right, okay. The best way to check if you understand is for you to practice. So let me look for another question. Right, this one is good because it was already done for you. So let's do this one. Right, I'll give you about 5 minutes to complete it. There is the question. What I want you to do is to find the mean, the mode, and the median quickly. Right, I'll give you the formulas. Right, right, let's answer that quickly. You have the formulas. Let's do that quickly. Find the mean, the mode, and the median. Find a pen and a paper. Quickly answer that. Right, once you get that, then we add 2 more. The quartile, interquartile range. Right, okay, so I'm allocating questions. Lydia, Slinda, you do the mean. Angela Zim, right, you do the mod. So mean, mod, we said Angela here. And the other one, we give the other one, Lydia, you do the first one. Right, then the median. Right, the median, someone who doesn't participate, or right, okay, I'll give a table, median table. So make sure, but you are all answering everything, but when we are done, Right. Let's answer this. Right. Just make sure you answer all the questions. Right. Then we can start. Just answer all the questions.
Sir.
Yes.
For the midpoint, do you round off to the
For the
nearest?
midpoint, no,
Yes.
don't round off, because this midpoint, just leave it as a decimal number. I think it's one decimal number. Just leave it as a decimal number. Any question? Right. Are we done?
No, sir, 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay, let's solve. Right, just find the mean, the mode, and the median. Then we start answering. Draw your table. Don't forget your table. Right, I have downloaded the register. So I hope everyone was now in who wanted to be in. Right. Make sure you are solving. Don't wait. Don't wait, because for your assessments, you'll be having online assessment where you have to calculate, and it's timed, and it's 1 hour 30 minutes, and there is no time for you to linger around. You just have to learn to calculate fast, and you only have one attempt. So make sure you learn how to calculate and how to use your calculator. That's why I'm giving you time to practice. So practice and practice and practice.
Sir,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, you can ask.
For the mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fx, Konja, what does it stand for?
Frequency times x. Remember, you forgot.
Yes.
I'm not going to show you this one because you still need to answer it. You still remember how do you find our x? Is the midpoint, isn't it?
Yes.
Multiplied by the frequency, the number of waiters in this question. That gives us fx. So this total sum is the summation of fx. The total sum of fx. Fx, you are multiplying your number of waiters times the value of x that you got. Right,
Okay,
so continue.
thank you, sir.
Sharp.
Still.
Right, anyone who is done? Just want to have an idea. You can just raise your hand so that I can check. You can just press that hand to show that you are done. Right. We are taking too much time now. We only have 2 hours for this session and we are likely to use it all. Right? Right. Okay. I'm now giving it exactly 2 past. We start. Exactly 2 past. Then we start. This is measure of central location that we have done. The mean mode, median. So we are going to talk about next we'll be talking about the interquartile range. Right, which is non-central location. Right, are we done? Okay, let's start. Let's start. We still have a long way. Let's start. Right, who is answering the first one? Right, Lydia. You are the one who is responsible for the first one. Right. Right, I've put it like this so that I will just show you. This is your frequency. This is your cumulative frequency. Right, then you can find your X, then you can find your FX. Right, okay. So let's find out, did we get the same answers? The cumulative frequency was done for you already. So you just needed the midpoint. I think the first midpoint is 7.5. I think we all get the same answer. Then the second midpoint was what? 12.5. Then the third midpoint, 17.5. $22.5, 27.5, then we have 32.5, then we have 47.5. Then you need to find your F frequency times your X. It was 3 times 7.5. Then you get 22.5. Then 6 times 12.5. You get 75. Then 7 times 17.5. You get 122.5. Then 12 times 22.5. You get 270. Then we have 10 times 27.5. You get 275. Then 6 times 32.5. You get 195. Then we have 2 times 47.5. Then you are going to get 95. Then the total, the summations, let me see for the frequency. You get 46. Right, then for this one, 22.5 plus 75 plus 122.5 plus 270 plus 275.
1,055.
Okay, get, what did you get?
1,055, I think.
Right, yes, 1,055. That's also what I got. Right, so let's find the mean. What did you say?
The sum, which is fx.
Summation of fx over n, which is equals to?
Yes. 1,055
Over what?
over 7.
Over what?
7.
N, what is n?
So I don't know if it's 1,000 or it's 7.
It's 46. Your total frequency gives you your n.
Oh, that's what I wrote. I didn't see.
Right, okay, then divide by 46. Then you get 22.93.
93.
Right, we are done with the first part. The second part, Angela. Right, I think it's the mod.
Yes, sir.
Right, how do you calculate your mod? You need,
Okay, so my
okay, let me put the formula so that we don't rewrite it. Yes.
yes. Okay, I
Mhm.
said so mod is going to be equal to 20 plus
Right, okay, you get 20. Where did you get 20 from? You first find the position, right?
yes,
The highest frequency, you got it at
12.
0.12. So your
Yes.
limit is 20 to 25. So the lower limit is 20, correct? So you
Yes.
say 20 plus
Plus, and then the top part, the width is going to be 5. It's 5.
5 brackets.
Bracket 12, which is
The
the
frequency, which is 12,
and then minus
minus
the previous frequency, which is 7.
7 all over.
Yeah, all over 2 times 12 minus 7 minus 10.
Simple as that. Right, then you get
Then I get 20 plus
20 plus what?
plus 25 over 7.
Plus 25 over 7.
Yes. And then it's 20 plus 3,571. And the final answer is 23,571.
Done, that's correct. Okay, we are done with the mod. Then the last one, Tebuko. Right, Tebu, I said the median. You're looking at the median. Right, how do you solve the median? I'll put a formula for you. Tebuko, are you there? Right, I'm seeing a chat. Let's check. No, we can't hear you. Let me check your mic. Right, okay. Right, anyone to answer for Tebuko? Anyone who can answer for Tebuko? We can't hear you, Tebuko. Right, who can answer? Nilish, is it Nilish? Nilesh, can you try? Right, so for the median, what do you have to find first? Is the middle position. Spaman, can you try? Kolis. Anyone who wants to try for the median? Do we have people here? Right, no one wants to try. Veronique, can you try? Right, for the median, what do we have to find? Kolis, you can continue.
Don't you find the middle position first?
Yes, what's the middle position?
It's 46 divided by 2, right?
Divided by 2. Mm-hmm.
It's 23.
Right, yes, then.
And then, so the interval will be at 20 to 25.
That's correct. It will be between 20 to 25. Right, yes, then we say. So your lower limit?
It is 20.
20 plus your class width?
It is 25 minus 20, so it is 5.
Right, your n?
My n, it is 46.
Yes. Then your previous cumulative frequency?
Previous. Um, 7.
Cumulative. Remember, it's capital letter F.
Oh. It's 16.
It's 16. Or over the frequency of your median.
Median, right?
Yes.
28.
Frequency, not cumulative, frequency.
12.
Correct, it's 12. Then you find your answer. What you get? What's 23 minus 16 times 5? 35 divided by 12. So it will be 20 plus 2.92, which gives you 22.92.
9.
Right. Any questions on this? Any questions? Because I want to give you the questions. I don't want it to be too much. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload the questions. Just go and calculate the mean, the mode, and the median. Right. Then your homework, go and find how to calculate your interquartile range. You find your interquartile range. You find how to calculate your standard deviation. Right, then you find out how to calculate your CV. Yes?
So what chapter is this in the textbook? Is it chapter 3?
Yes, it's chapter 3.
Okay, thank you.
Then you find your CV, coefficient of correlation variance, then your SKP, the measure of skewness. Right, we'll do this in the first 30 minutes. It's not that much. It's just a continuation of that. So I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Where is it? Right. So all this I have uploaded the formula sheet. So all these formulas, you'll be able to see them. They're there. So what I'm talking about, I want you to go and calculate this measure of skewness. It's very simple. Right. We'll finish that on the next lesson. Right. So that's what we need to calculate the range, then the standard deviation and the variance. We are going to calculate all this, right? The coefficient of variation, C, V, we are going to calculate that. Then the measure of skewness, we're going to calculate it. Then the Pearson skewness, we are only going to use the SKP, this one, simplified formula. Right, that's what you're going to use. Then we'll be done with this topic. Then we go to probability. So I'm going to upload questions where you need to calculate the mean, the mode, and the median, and the interquartile range. Interquartile range is very simple. That's why I'm giving you it as a homework again. Interquartile range, you simply use the median formula. Right, you use the median formula, which is OME plus C brackets N over 2 minus the previous cumulative frequency over the frequency of the median. What is now changing is the quartile. There is a first quartile, isn't it? The first Q, which we call the lower quartile. The lower quartile. The lower quartile, it's simply instead of N over 2 is now N over 4. That's what is changing. Then the second quartile, which is the middle, which we call the median. The formula is N over 2. That's why we have N over 2. Then the upper quartile, which we call the third quartile, which is the upper quartile, is now 3N over 4. So what is changing in the formula, I will show you here, is this part only, the N over 2. If it is first quartile, your N is what? N over 4. If it is the third or the upper quartile, is now 3N over 4. That's what is changing. That's why I'm giving it as a homework. So interquartile range, when we say interquartile, right, we are simply saying your answer in Q3 minus Q1. Then you get your interquartile range, right? So just to close, we did how to calculate the mean, the mode, the median. Then you find the quartiles, the quartile range. Then next week we'll start there. Then we also calculate our variance. We calculate our standard deviation. We calculate the skewness. Right, from next week we finish up this, then I'll give you work to cover. Right, so I'm going to upload questions on my LMS. There are already worksheets there. Go and calculate the mean, the mode, and median. I'll extract them, then I'll put them. Make sure you calculate, right? Then I'll give you solutions later on. Right, so any other questions? Any other questions? Right, okay.